Hey guys, I wanted to throw together a quick video for you guys since it's been a little while since I put something out. What I wanted to do is kind of put together a little garage tour kind of my shop slash garage of where I build my bikes, just to give you an idea of kind of the tools I have and what I use to build these bikes, and then also give you an update on what the plan is for the Triumph here. And excuse the cars going by in the background, but just to give you guys a little overview of the garage itself. It's just a normal 2-car garage. I think it's about 20 feet deep by maybe 18 or 19 feet wide. I just built this whole countertop kind of shelving thing over here with a buddy of mine, just to kind of give me some more organization, some more worktop space. Then I threw a pegboard up here just to kind of get some of the tools that I don't want to necessarily put inside the box, and I use pretty often. I can kind of have up there on the wall. So these are actually countertops I picked up from IKEA. I have an IKEA not too far from my house, and I went there with the intent on buying a different countertop, but I actually went into their scratch and dent section, and I found these. They're black on top, and they have this little stainless looking kind of strip along the side, and they were in the scratch and dent section because they were being discontinued, and they were only $20 for I think like a 78 or 76 inch long piece. So I just bought 3 of them. So there's 2 full length ones, and then there is a cut section right here in the middle, and then it worked out perfect that the remaining size was the exact size of this table over here. So pretty awesome for $60 for this whole, I think it's almost 15-foot long length of countertop. The rest is just made out of 2x4, and the shelves are plywood. There is a space right here next to the toolbox because I am going to get another one of these side boxes right here, and it'll fit perfectly right there. So it'll be all underneath. That'll be one solid toolbox here as soon as I decide to go to Harbor Freight and actually pick one of those up. Then over here I just have a small little drill press and belt sander. They were cheap. I got them on Amazon. I think they were like 50 or 60 bucks a piece, just because I wanted one, and I couldn't necessarily justify a bigger expensive one just because I don't use it that often. But so far they've been working out great. I have normal storage down there of jack and jack stands, that kind of stuff. Of course, toolbox. I am going to put together a little toolbox tour of all of the tools I have and everything, and I'll probably put that out later this week. Like I said, pegboard with all the stuff on it. Then we have all of my supplies. So I have like a little section up here of all of my books and service manuals and everything. All the top there is all your brake cleaner and degreasers and brake fluid and all that kind of stuff. And we have lubricants, tapes, paint, paint prep, hardware, all that kind of stuff, all organized there. I still kind of want to organize it a little bit more, but so far so good with that. Over here is my main workbench. This is all I had for a good while. This top is made out of like an 1 3/4 solid chunk of wood. It was actually a door from our old office, so we redid some remodeling, and it was a solid wood door we were going to get rid of. So I took it and made it into a workbench, and I've had it for a couple of years, and that thing is super solid. I mean, that top probably weighs 200 pounds by itself. The rest is made out of 2x4s. I do have 2 vise on it. So here's a smaller, like 4-inch vise, and then I have my bigger number 5 Verano vise. That thing is ginormous. I bought that at an antique store. It probably weighs, I would say, over 100 pounds for sure. And it was all rusted and stuff. I completely disassembled it and sanded it down and painted it and restored that. So sound system, I just have a receiver here, and then I have 2 large old school speakers underneath the workbench, so it sounds pretty good. A couple of stools down there, a little fan. This area is probably the area that needs the most help. I'm going to get a larger, like 60 or 80 gallon air compressor that'll go in this little section here. My power plug is right there, so I can run a 220 outlet right here, put a nice 60 gallon compressor in there. I just put my welder over here. I have this blast cabinet as well. To be honest with you, I really don't use it very often because I just have that little, Harbor Freight joke of a air compressor there that does not have enough juice to run this properly. So once I get the 60-gallon compressor, I'll try this out again and see if it's worth taking up the real estate that it does, because it is pretty big. So if I don't use it that much, I'll end up just selling it and kind of getting rid of it. But then I have the CX500 that my buddy Dustin is buying from me, CB360 that has a big question mark on what's going to happen to that. Over here is the CB550, you guys know already. And then this is kind of all my parts storage over here. So every one of these tubs is for a different bike. So you can see, like, this one says CX500 on it, that one says CX500. The ones down there for the CB360, then I have ones up here. So a lot of these are filled with stock parts, pull-offs. A lot of them are filled with a bunch of universal parts. I still have a lot of air filters and just kind of random stuff I've acquired over building all the bikes, and I don't like to get rid of anything because you never know when you're going to need it. So a lot of the lights and signals and all kinds of stuff I keep just in case I ever want to use them for a project. Over there is all my extra metal supply stuff, scrap metal. Then I have collection of handlebars, and then I have seats, fenders. A lot of takeoff parts from all my bikes end up over here on this shelf. So that's kind of the main walk around of the garage. This is a little work table I built a couple of years ago. Again, it's just made out of 2x4s and plywood, and then it does have some casters on the bottom. And then there is a ramp I just built out of I think it's a 2x8 down there to actually get the bikes up on the lift, or the work table I should say. The front just has one of the Harbor Freight motorcycle chucks, wheel chuck, and then I just kind of put two lag bolts into a D-ring shackle on each side so that I can run a ratchet up to the bike itself to keep it stable. So this is on here, and I mean, this thing's not going anywhere. So it puts the bike at a nice, good working height. Makes it a lot easier to work on when the bike's chest level, instead of having to bend down and get on a little rolly seat or whatever. So the Triumph's up here ready to get torn apart. The beauty of this thing being on casters is, I mean, you can literally push it around the shop. So if I wanted to pull a car in here, I could wheel this over to the side and lock. The wheels do have brakes on them, so I can just lock it wherever I want. So it makes it really nice in a smaller garage like this to be able to move a bike aside if you need to. So we'll go into a little bit about the Triumph and kind of what the plan is for it. I talked on my last video, the first video, about the Triumph, of the plan. The plan's going to be a hardtail bobber for this bike. I have actually already ordered the hardtail. I got it from Lowbrow Customs, I believe is what it's called. Pretty popular for Triumph hardtails. I went with a 4-inch stretch and a 2.5-inch drop. So that rear wheel will go back about 4 inches, and then overall it'll drop about 2.5 inches. So it'll be pretty low, but not super stretched out. I didn't really like the look of the 6-inch stretch. It's like too kind of choppery for me, if that makes sense. From what I found online, the 4-inch stretch is going to be just about perfect for the look that I want. So I ordered that. That takes like 6 to 8 weeks to come in. I ordered it about 3.5 weeks ago. So I still have a little while to go before I'll have the major part of this bike. But I went ahead and threw it up here on the table because I can start to tear this, back end down, strip a lot of the parts off, and figure out, what else I want to do to the bike besides just the hardtail. Right now it has clip-ons. I don't think the clip-ons are going to fit the bobber style very well. So what I'm probably going to do, I got a whole bunch of the stock components with this bike. I'm probably going to throw on the stock handlebar risers, but I'm actually going to run probably these handlebars right here. Let's see. Yeah. These guys right here, which are more of like a drag style handlebar. So it'll go, sorry, I'm shaking all over the place, but it'll kind of go up here like that. So it'll be pretty similar to the look of the clip-ons. It'll just be a little bit more, I don't want to say period correct, but a little bit more correct to the style of a bobber over a clip-on style bars. But that's really going to be the major changes to this bike. I mean, obviously a hardtail is a big change, but everything else I really like the way it looks. I mean, I like the tank the way it is already. I like, you know, the patina, and kind of it's earned its stripes, I guess. That's why I kept the tank stock on my 550. It's because it took a long time to get that wear and tear, and I kind of like it. So I'll probably keep the tank as is. I said I may or may not put a smaller headlight on it, polish some parts of the engine, then the hardtail, and I mean, really, this bike. All right. This bike will be done after that. So it does need some new tires. I'm going to put a little bit fatter tire on the back. Then I obviously need a longer chain because of the stretch. But I mean, this bike already runs great. It already has like really good components. You know, if you remember from my last video, the whole engine's already been redone. So mechanically, this bike is sound and doesn't need anything. So really, we're just doing some cosmetic work to it and getting it, you know, made into a bobber. So that's the plan. I wish I had more of an update for you guys, but like I said, we're waiting for a lot of parts to come in, and that hardtail does take like a month and a half, 2 months to come in, because they make it custom, you know, based on whatever specs you send them. So once I get that in, I can really start to tear this down. And you know, like I said, I've never done any kind of hardtail project before. I have done some frame modifications and stuff before, so that part doesn't really bother me. It's just more of a, you know, it'll be a learning curve to put a hardtail on it. And some people were a little bit upset that I decided to go that route, but the vast majority of you guys were excited about it and totally on board with the project. So pretty excited to get going on it. So like the video if you did in fact like it. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're almost to 1,000 subscribers, which is blowing my mind because this channel is growing a lot faster than I thought. So pretty excited about that. After this, I'm going to throw together, like I said, a little tool video of exactly all the tools I have. You know, probably do a little comparison of what you can get by with for cheaper Harbor Freight kind of tools and what you should actually invest, you know, some more money in. Because I've learned a lot through the years of what works and what breaks and what doesn't work. And so yeah, I'll throw together a little video, and I'll probably put it out maybe Tuesday or Wednesday of this upcoming week. So guys, be on the lookout for that. Let me know if you guys have any questions or what you think about the Triumph project. And I appreciate you guys watching.